Hey guys, Stigma here. Today we're going to be talking about my Waldorf Blofeld synthesizer. And this guy came out in 2007, so it's about 10 years old. It's not super expensive, it's about 500 bucks brand new. It's a digital analog modeling synthesizer, which is just a nice way of saying it can pretend to be an analog synthesizer without being analog. It is 16-part multitimbral, which means you can play 16 patches or different types of sounds at once. 25 notes of polyphony, so you can play 25 notes at once, depending on the DSP and everything. And it's just a really good kind of all-around synthesizer that's not that super expensive. So if you're looking to integrate a hardware synth into your digital rig, like if you're using Machine like I do, it's a really nice nice synthesizer that could replace a VST and give you some more options and some sounds that you wouldn't normally get. So let's dig into it. So the Blofeld is a powerful virtual analog synthesizer and also a wavetable synth. You may know of wavetable from Waldorf's previous synthesizers like the Q, microwave and all that stuff. This takes a lot of that and puts it into a new package along with a lot of powerful features. So just kind of getting started and going through this, we're on the very first sound here, which is very much like Beat It, so that's kind of cool. So we have a few knobs, not a ton, and we have this matrix here, and that's how you're able to edit this synthesizer. So we can use this knob to select patches. We can select different banks, or we can do category filter, which I personally really like. It just makes it easier to find things. So if I want something like a pad, then I can just go over to pad, and then it just gives me pads, which is kind of cool. And it has some really fantastic pad sounds. Let's see. I think this thing's really good at pads. I have a few go-to pads that I use in my own productions, and this thing is really the synth I use for pads and atmospheric type sounds. It's great for that. Let's see. It has some nice organic quality to it. Let's do some atmospheric stuff. So it's just a nice kind of all-around, it's a nice all-around synthesizer. So let me go to a lead sound. Even some of the leads sound a little bit patty. So, in order to edit this thing, you use these buttons to light up one of these rows, and then each knob corresponds to a column. It's kind of like an Excel spreadsheet or something. So you can go to your oscillator shape, and it looks like there's a few different. And this is oscillator 1. There's 3 oscillators on this thing. So you have your shape, your semitone, your detune, and your level for each oscillator. And there's 3 of these. This screen is really cool. It allows you to really dig into the different functions, and you can get really deep down and make some neat patches with this. And of course you have your cutoff and resonance. And you can get some crazy resonance out of it with the filters. And of course you can pick the filter types. Bunch of different filter types. So you get 3 oscillators per voice and 2 filters. And then you can mess with the filter and amp envelopes. You can get into LFO, and the LFO is pretty it's pretty powerful, and it's very fast. Let's pick a different sound. You just hit play to choose something else. You have your mod matrix, and you can route a lot of different things, and of course your effects. It has a pretty nice effects unit, so you can change the mixes of the different effects, and then you have your arpeggiator mode right here. So it has a pretty neat arpeggiator. So let's pick. So it has a nice arpeggiator. You can do a lot of different things with it, and it has some pretty good built-in sounds. Crazy resonances. One thing that I do kind of run into with this sometimes is just being a synthesizer, it has a lot of variations in volume between different patches. So you can go from one patch that's super low, and then the very next patch is just going to blow your speakers. So just be careful with the volume. I end up messing with the volume knob quite a bit when I'm trying to record samples from it. But it's a pretty good synthesizer. It's very well built. It's tiny, and it's made of metal, and it's pretty heavy. And you can just do a lot of stuff with it. You can dig into the different menus and just do a lot of cool stuff. It has a neat multi-mode where you can choose up to 16 different patches to run in different MIDI channels. So that's nice when you're trying to get more than one single patch out of this at a time across MIDI. Obviously it doesn't have a keyboard. They do have a keyboard version. I have the module since I have a keyboard controller here, and I actually just prefer to use modules. But I think the keyboard runs about $1,000. But this guy runs 500, 600 new. You can find them used all over the place. And it just does a lot of neat things. It also has a function where you can load your own samples into it, and you have to actually pay an extra fee to unlock that in the software. So if you're interested in loading samples potentially used for wavetables or whatever, you can do that. And there's a bunch of kind of aftermarket sound banks out there that you can get. I think Analog Voltage is one of the most popular ones for electronic music. This one has one of the drum sound banks in it, but I don't use it for drums. I don't really care to use it for drums. I mainly use this guy for pads and spacey sounds, and it's just very good at crazy space sounds. So if you're looking to add a fairly inexpensive synthesizer that's kind of spacey flavored, I would say, this guy is a good option for not that much money. And you can get into some analog type sounds with it, and of course wavetable stuff. But it's a great synthesizer, definitely worth checking out, and a great purchase for the money. So the Waldorf Blofeld, very good. Definitely check it out. And let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you have one, let me know. and give me your thoughts on it. Make sure you hit subscribe to get a few more videos. Take it easy.